So, good evening, everyone. So, today we are going to talk about UiPath Coded Agents. We have our speaker from Pune community, Akash Javalekar, and this is a quite collaboration with Coimbatore community. And what's our agenda for today is we are going to cover what is UiPath Coded Agents, how they work, what they are, and how we can how that specific agent can fit into your environment. And also, we are going to learn how LangChain agents can be implemented into UiPath ecosystem and the tools provided by LangChain or the other tools which are supported by LangChain can be used in the UiPath ecosystem. So I will hand over this to Akash so that he can start explaining all those things to you. And I will not take much time of you. Let's get into the action directly. So over to you, Akash.
Thank you, Darshan. Let me share my screen.
And in the meantime, if anyone has any questions, any doubts, you can tag that into the chat. Gagan and me are there to answer you.
Okay. Darshan, can you just confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, Akash, it is. You can start.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Oh, good morning, good evening. So, before directly jump into this UiPath coded agent, so let me introduce about myself. So my name is Akash Javalekar. So basically, I'm from Pune, and currently I'm working as a senior RPA developer in Capgemini. So if you want, you can reach out to the LinkedIn as well. So I've been even contributing in the UiPath forum as well. I have delivered many sessions as well on the UiPath events. So today we are going to see what exactly the guys, just 2 minutes. Yeah. So what exactly the coded agent is, what exactly the frameworks we have in the coded agent, and how we can leverage this LangChain framework using different connecting the LLMs and invoking the tools that we are going to see. So today we are going to see the simple demo, so you guys can understand how this LangChain can leverage in your path ecosystem. So with said that, let's get started. So we'll first go through the agenda. So today we are going to see introduction about the coded agent, and UiPath provide the SDK, that is software development kit, where we will write our code, we will write our agent, and we can simply deploy it in our orchestrator. And there are some frameworks, like I said, like the LangChain. Even you might heard on different frameworks like the Crew AI as well, and that we are going to see how we can then we can build step by step, like we can build using the commands. And even recently UiPath has released some new features as well for this coded agent, so that also we are going to see. And at the end of session we can have some Q&A session. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so the first question, what exactly the coded agent? So UiPath coded agent is an AI powered automation which using Python programming language, which can combine large language models like the tools, APIs, then even business logics and the enterprise automations to achieve the complex tasks as well. So leveraging like the deployment for the security, the governance, those capabilities in the UiPath coded agent. So basically, unlike the traditional automation, so where we will so for this coded agent, like it can reason, it can make decision, it can maintain the state, it can invoke the tools, then it can interact with the different APIs, and it can orchestrate the multi complex steps. So if you say in simple terms, this coded agent combines this the large language models with the flexibility to developer to develop their own logic. Like instead of giving in the agent builder, I need to write different prompts, right? Like in the agent builder, but instead of that, we have this LangChain where it has followed the structure, and we can use those structure which has the capability, so we can directly utilize this LangChain. So this is the life cycle. Like we will write our code like in Python, then we will make a connection to our UiPath orchestrator, and then we can simply deploy this UiPath coded agent in the orchestrator, and we can simply run our agent. So before starting, we need to have some prerequisites, like you should have the Python 3.10 or the higher version, and you should have like the pip or the UE package manager. So these are the package manager to install the any dependencies, like even for the LangChain, UiPath or any other dependency, we can use this package manager. And you can have the ID, like for example the VS Code. So I'm going to use the VS Code, so you can use any ID, like for example anti-gravity, cursor, those you can utilize based on your yeah. Then you should have like you have a cloud account, so for connecting our coded agent to the UiPath platform. So these are the prerequisites. So these are the some commands for creating the coded agent in you can directly use any terminal, and you can simply, so first we will create the virtual environment, then we will activate that virtual environment. Anyone is talking? Okay. So we will install this LangChain UiPath LangChain package, and then we will create a agent, and we can just connect to our UiPath orchestrator, and we can configure, like even we can customize anything like in our code. Like if I want to change something else, so I can just add the tools, I can invoke the tools, and I can even use the MCP servers as well. You might heard on the MCP servers as well. So we can do anything using this UiPath coded agent, and then we will simply package this environment, and we will just deploy it in our orchestrator. So what are the modern frameworks we have? Like I already mentioned, so why exactly we need these frameworks, right? If we have the already the agentic AI, and even we have the agent builder, then why we need the frameworks, right? So the LLM are alone cannot like handle this stateless, and it is hard to control, like integrating the tools, data, and even the multi-step logic, right? So that is why sometimes we'll able to see like why an agent behave like it is hallucinate in the environment where it will fail sometimes, right? So this is kind of a framework where, like if you heard, might be in the UiPath, right, the RE framework, right? So even if we have the normal process, then why should we go with the RE framework? Because it has the exception handling capability. It can has the queue based approach, where we can for each transaction we can see like which transaction has failed. So due to only one transaction, it should not impact my whole process. Like the same way, these are the frameworks where we can utilize, like even if your one step is like failing, so it should not impact your whole entire process, right? So what exactly the LangChain? So LangChain is a framework that helps you build the large language AI powered applications. So basically it provides a structure for connecting the any LLMs. For example, GPT, like even if you talk about the local LLM, right, Ollama. So there for Ollama there are multiple LLMs are there. So like for example OpenAI models are there, but for OpenAI we need a API key, those things, right? But LangChain provides that capability. You can invoke any tools, like you can connect to any LLMs, and you can simply create an any LLM applications. So instead of writing long prompt templates, or let's suppose for the hard coding logic, you can simply use the components like the chains, tools, agents. You can simply invoke those tools. So you can just ask the model to summarize the text, and then it can use the summary to generate the, for example, the title. So this LangChain lets you define the both steps to connect them into your Python code. So you can add if you take an example, right? Imagine you are building an application that needs to retrieve the data from the website, and it should summarize it, and then it should answer the user's question based on the summary. So this LangChain helps you break this down into three steps. For example, the retrieve, so it will retrieve the data, then it will think on that, on which data it should retrieve, then it will summarize that data, and then finally it will answer based on this components. So this is about like the LangChain. So basically LangChain is the framework, like the sequential framework, where it will like the pipeline where it will execute step by step manner. So what we are going to do is, so currently the command which we have, so which I have shown you, right? So let me show you the official documentation as well. So this is the UiPath official documentation where you will get the quick start for the UiPath LangChain agents. So here you can simply use this command, like either you can create using the pip package manager or like the UE package manager. So it's up to you. You can decide on which package manager you should go. So you can simply create the folders, and you can simply we will first need to create the virtual environment. Then because our entire code will be executing on those virtual environments, so that is why we need to create this virtual environment. Then we need to activate this virtual environment by using this command, and then we will need to install certain packages. For example, this is the Python package we need to install. Then this is the LangChain package we need to install. Then once we have installed this UiPath LangChain command, then we can start creating the agent. So this is the command to create an agent. So we can simply pass this command, and it will generate the main.py and this LangGraph LangChain. This is the project toml file, and then we can simply create this agent. And once we have created this agent, we can simply run it through our CMD or in IDE, or we can directly deploy it in the orchestrator, and there we can directly test this agent. So in our case, so currently there is some issues with this command. So what we are going to do is, so I'm going to show you a simple agent, how we can create, how we can connect to the local LLM. So I'm going to use the Ollama model, which is hosted on the local machine, and which will run on the local host. So we can simply connect to that LLM using the LangChain, and we will see how what are the response we will get. So for that, what we will do is, so to install Ollama, you can simply search on the Google. So if it will redirect to this Ollama, and here you can simply download this Ollama. So either you can pass this command to the PowerShell, or you can simply click on this download Ollama. It will download, and you can just install it. So Ollama is like, hello.
Yes, Akash, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. Okay. So you can just simply install this Ollama. So Ollama is like the free of cost. So there are some local LLM models. So for OpenAI, if you see, we need the API keys, and we should have some credits. Then we should use the OpenAI models, right? But local Ollama will provide that capability to, you can use it on the free. So there are some few models which are like running on the local host. So I have already installed this local Ollama. So I'll just show you. So I'll just open my CMD. Just enter Ollama list. So here you can see I have already installed two models. One is the Llama and one is the Quen model. So this is the coder model which will run on the local host, and this is the simple Llama 3.1 model which we can utilize. So here you can see it consumes the RAM actually. You should have the like specific RAM, then you can run these models on your local host, like on your laptop. Okay, do we have any question or something? Yes, we can use the Anthropic and OpenAI. So LangChain provides the multiple LLM to connect. So I'll quickly open my terminal. So before creating the agent, like I'm going to create a simple chatbot agent. So before that, we need to install the LangChain dependency. So I'll just enter pip install LangChain Ollama. Okay, so it will install this LangChain library for me, and now I can use this LangChain to connect with my local Ollama model, and I can generate the response. So what I will do is I'll just simply create one Python file here. I'll just say coded agent dot py. Okay. So now here we will first import the libraries for the LangChain. So if I enter here, so here you can see we have the multiple, like the OpenAI is there, then even Anthropic is there. So we can use any LLM to connect. So in our case, we are using the local Ollama. Then we will import the chat Ollama. So chat Ollama like is acting as like the connector between our Python and our local Ollama. Then we have the LangChain. Then we need to import the agents. Then we will initialize the LLM. So I'll just instance, I'll pass this chat Ollama, and here I will pass my model name. I'll just say model equal to, so here I'll need to pass my model name. So I'll just take it from my CMD again, right? I'll just copy this model name and I'll just pass here. Do we have any question? Okay. So we have imported the LangChain library to for creating the agent. So chat Ollama will connect to my this Ollama model. Then we will create an agent. So I'll just say agent equal to
Akash, we lost your voice.
sorry, voice is my voice getting break?
No, Akash, it's good. You
No,
can
it's good.
continue.
It's good.
Okay, 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 okay. So here we will create the agent. So here we will pass model equal to Ollama. That's it. So we have established the connection with the model, and since my Ollama is running locally, so my LangChain will connect to LangChain will connect to this Ollama model. So here instead of writing the conversation loop, so LangChain provides an like agent abstraction, so which will understand the user request and it interacts with that LLM. So we can invoke any LLM, we can invoke any tools using this LangChain. So what we will do is we will use the while loop to infinite loop for the our chat LLM model. So here we will pass the user input. The input equal to input. Okay. So if user provides, he needs to exit, then we can directly break that loop. So it will exit the chat. Then we will invoke our response, agent response. So we will use agent.invoke. Add the messages. So there will be a role, and the role is the user and content is the user input, whatever the user has provided the input. So we will get that input and we will print the LLM content, and we will simply print our agent response. Just save it. Okay, let me run it again. So here it is asking me to here user. So I'll just add the query like what is agentic AI. So now it will my LangChain will connect to my local LLM and it will give me the response. So whatever the user types, so that becomes the next message sent to the AI agent. So like our LLM. So invoke method basically sends the user message to the our AI agent. That is nothing but the LLM. Okay. Okay. Let me check. me run it again. So we got the respond here. LLM respond here. You can see agentic. We have asked what is agentic AI, and it has give me the output. Agentic AI, also known as autonomy oriented artificial intelligence. So it will provide that. So if I enter exit, so it will break that loop. So this is how we can connect to any LLM. We can just create an LLM powered application, and we can simply create our agent using the Python. Also, we have the LangChain official documentation as well. So if you go through the LangChain, so this is the official documentation they have. So here you can go through all the agent, how we can create the agents, and even how we can integrate with the different LLMs, and how we can invoke the tools and all those things. So here we have the different models as well. So here we have OpenAI, Anthropic, Azure, Google Gemini, AWS, then Hugging Face as well. So these models we can use using this LangChain. So LangChain provides that capability. It can connect to any LLM. It can have that capability, and it can even invoke the tools as well. So recently UiPath released this coded agent as well, like where we can directly even get the whatever the command we have written, and once we have written our logic right in the Python, we can simply either we can clone that project, or we can simply directly they have the capability to create an agent with the help of LangChain. So I'll just go to my studio, and here I'll just create an agent.
Uh, so Akash, I have a question here. So LangChain is itself a model or a framework?
It is a framework.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we once we have selected the agent, here we can see to choose the agent type. So now we have here the coded agent. So I'll just choose the coded agent, and I'll just click on setup the agent. Okay. Okay. So here you can see either we can directly start with the simple one which UiPath provides, or we can directly once we have run those commands, we can simply add this project ID into the environment file, and you can directly pass this command UiPath push. So it will push all your source code to this UiPath Studio. So I'll just go with the LangChain, and I'll just click on the start with simple.
And Akash, in the Python, where that loop is getting false, is it an infinite condition? Because that loop is exiting only in the case of exit prompt only, right?
Correct. So here I have provided the condition as if my if I put the exit, so it will break that loop. So I can
Oh,
add that I haven't add the true condition, right? So that's why we can add those conditions as well.
It's just the
okay.
showcase code actually, just to showcase the scenario.
Correct, correct. It's just a simple, like we can say the chatbot where we are interacting with the LLM and how we can get the response using this LangChain. So even in UiPath Agent Builder, if you see, there are there are some limitations where if your company has their own LLM, right? If you want to use your own LLM, so LangChain provides that capability to connect your any LLM, and you can build your own agent. And you can simply still, if you want to, we have the UiPath platform, and we can just deploy it, and there we can just orchestrate our agents.
Here one question. Uh, Sorry for. Can we go back to the code, to the Python code, please?
Yeah,
So here we have called the LangChain Ollama as a chat Ollama. Okay. So where
correct.
do we have implemented the LangChain things like vector databases and all the things so that it can understand the context?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
So as per my knowledge, please correct me if I'm wrong. The LangChain thing is is a framework to for context grounding into the code. Okay, let's suppose we ask a question for a specific thing so
Correct.
that the agent doesn't hallucinate. The LangChain provides us the capability that the agent will target the relevant information only. So
Uh,
here, how we can implement that thing. We just have called LangChain Ollama that I understand as a
correct.
chat Ollama. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
So where do we have put the vector database details and that metadata and something one more term
So
was.
you need to add those things like the context rounding you mentioned, right? So you need to
Mhm.
add those things. So they have some capability, like for example, to create agent. I have used.
Here we have made a generic thing like as
Correct,
you're
correct,
saying.
correct, correct. If
Okay.
you want those things, you can just simply go through this documentation as well. So they have provided all those information.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So now here, if I go to the source code, right? So here we have the agents directly. We can they have created using this LangChain, and we can simply test this agent on the studio, or we can simply go with the command. We can just build the using the Python, and we can simply deploy it in our orchestrator, or we can directly push it into the studio web. So here this is the main.py. So currently we cannot edit this part. So it is in the preview, currently in the preview. That is why we cannot even edit. So might be they have some planning or something in future. We can like even write our own logic here as well. And here we just so here they have provided the system prompt, and to generate the query based on the user query. So here you can see what is the weather in Paris. So I'll just test this, and let's see how we can get it.
Hey Akash, in the meanwhile it's running, I just have a small question.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean from the UiPath perspective, currently we are running this. So the model is sitting at the UiPath server side, right? In this case, like it's not local dependent.
correct, correct.
Mhm. Okay, cool. Yeah, the other example that you showed, that was a local installation and setup. While in this case, it's on the
Yeah,
UiPath
correct.
server side, and we are
So
just
this is
running.
my local LM which runs on my laptop, right?
Hmm.
Like the local host. So if I want to use this local LLM, so I need to use something like the API gateway or something. So it should run on the cloud like that, because local
Yeah.
Ollama model is a free actually. So for like other LLMs, if you see like for example OpenAI, Anthropic, so those we need to pay it. Like there is some limitations to use certain models, for example GPT 5.5. So if I want to use it, so there is some limitations to use those models, so I cannot use every time for those models, right, for all
Yeah.
scenarios. So for practice purpose, so local Ollama is a good actually. So you can just try to create an agent and try to create these things.
So Akash, how you downloaded that Ollama? Can you show the steps?
Sure. So you can simply search on the Google. So like for example, I'll just search Ollama, and here we have this official documentation like ollama.com, and here we have the option called download Ollama, or you can simply run this command in your PowerShell. So which will take the RAM. So you should have the like dedicated RAM as well on your laptop. So here you can see so it for Llama 3.1, it should take like 4.9 GB RAM you should have on your laptop, and for Quen it should have like 5.2 GB. So this is just so we got the output as well here. You can see. So it uses the UiPath LLM. You see get weather. So you can see output. So whether in Paris, you can see we can get the details as well. So it called the that tool, weather tool, and based on that it will provide the output. You can go through this LangChain documentation as well, and even UiPath has their own like the LangChain, how we can run these commands, how we can create a simple agents, and you can try to go through this documentation. Also they have some sample agents as well. So here this is the sample agents, the GitHub repository you can go through. So they have already created a multiple uh, coded agent as well here. So you can go through those agents and try to explore this UiPath coded agent which UiPath provides. So this is it from my side. Like, yeah, let me see if there are any questions or something.
Hi Akash, can you ping that URL in the chat? Where the UiPath documentation were there.
Yeah, sure. I'll just ping it.
Also, Sharan has raised his hand, so Sharan, feel free to ask your question.
Sure. Yeah, hi Akash, this is Sharan from my end. I was part of a software development on the agentic thing itself on my side. So
Okay,
coming, I have a couple of questions. You have shared the UiPath Studio, right? That shows the
correct.
the interaction between the rank views and also the rank graph, where you show what are the models it was using and what are the tools and also cache it was using. Can you check? Can you please help me with this thing? Are these tools have been given by your code, or is it provided by the
So
UiPath?
by default, when I select the LangChain, right? When I open the studio, when I select the LangChain, so by default, UiPath has written that code. Like for example, get weather tool, right? So by default, they have written those code. But in your case, if you want, you need to different use tools, right? So you can customize that.
Got it. And coming to by the UiPath,
Your voice is getting break.
is it good now?
Yeah, now it's good.
Coming to second point. the LangGraph that you showed, the structure or the API response that it was showing, the
Correct.
is it like pre-built by the UiPath, or should we configure it separately?
Sorry, come again. So what your exactly question was?
Uh, there is an graph, right? The LangGraph that you have showed me, like
Correct,
uh,
correct.
yeah, basically the flow chart that shows. I mean, like this is the UI response. This is a UI input for the
So
AI.
that is from the UiPath side, yeah.
Okay, there is no extra sub effort for us to configure them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so Rahul is also asking for one step for that Lang4 plot. So can you explain him?
Which flow?
He's asking about Langflow.
Rahul, can you unmute yourself and can you which one exactly you want me to explain? Diagram part. Okay. So agent which I have created, right? So it's basically so user will send that query and your LangChain will connect to the LLM. And so basically it uses the React pattern. So React pattern is nothing but before generating the response, it will think, like for example, it will decide whether should I use the tools or not. So that is the React part, and then in the end it will generate that response. So if you go through the studio and if you try to create that agent, so you will able to understand when you run and when you see the all the logs and all the flow, you will able to understand.
First, I have two questions. So in order to use the coded agent, in order to invoke the coded agent, we can do it from the orchestrator, right?
Correct, correct.
And in order to use the UiPath into IDE environment, we need to use the SDK.
Correct, correct. So basically, you need to. So currently, so if you see, I have shown right. I have selected the LangChain. So that is by default it will create. But in your use case, it could be a different. So you need to create your agent using the LangChain and the UiPath SDK in the any IDE. Then you need to deploy it on the orchestrator. So in the orchestrator, you can orchestrate that agent using the Maestro or even in the orchestrator as well.
Okay. And in that Python code, you were receiving the response content, right?
Correct.
If you want to further filter out the data, filter out the response, what can we do? Uh, like there itself.
You can just add their conditions. If you see in the LangChain documentation as well, so they have given everything. If you go through it, right, so you will understand like how we can actually create those, like if you want to loop it through, right, if I want to add the human in the loop, so there are the context around in human in the loop, so those things we can add.
No, no, simple data operations or manipulations.
Simple data manipulations, we can just like how I have add, right, like for example I have added the while condition, so that way you can just simply add and you can just print that respond. So your LLM will connect and your LLM will generate that respond.
Okay. And can you also give a brief on the on implementing the rack pipeline or some basic steps?
RAG, I haven't worked on RAG on those things. So currently I am actually exploring on the RAG. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
thank you.
One question, Akash, Vinod here.
yeah.
So you have used LangChain, right? So what are the like capabilities of LangChain? What else it can do, or what are the limitations of LangChain?
Okay, so for the LangChain, right? So LangChain basically it execute one step by one step, right? Like for example, take an example for the pipeline. It should execute the so once for the first task it will execute, then based on that task it should execute the in the sequential manner it will execute. On top of that we have the LangGraph as well. So LangGraph is extended of the LangChain, where we have the complex workflows, we can have the edges, we can have the multiple loops as well. So in the LangChain, let's suppose if my first task is executed, right, and if it is going to the next step. So in the next step, let's suppose if I want to again go back to the first step, right? So in the LangChain that is not possible. But in the LangGraph, we can have that capability. So you can have the multiple edges, and any edge can go through the any endpoint. Like for example, my task A to task B, right? So even again I can go from task B to task A, like that.
Okay. Okay. So you meant to say that the context, the previous context.
Correct.
So Akash, I have one question. Okay. So you created agent in the VS Code, right? Okay.
Correct.
Then how we can invoke that from the UiPath?
Invoke, we can directly deploy it in the orchestrator, like in the studio web.
So miss the way, right, the you developed in the Visual Studio Code, then that directly we can
Correct.
deploy in the studio, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So
And
currently
that
we have, I just shared the documentation as well for the how we can run the command. Like for example, to download the dependencies, then how we can what is the command to create an agent. So here I have shown, like I have written with own custom logic, right? Like I have written the dependencies and I have written the logic. But UiPath provides like you can directly run those commands and it will create an agent. So in that agent, you can simply run those commands, and for main.py file, right? So there you can just customize based on your use case.
okay. And recently in the real time, right, is there any use cases which you done the development of it? Can you please explain if yes, with the help of
S-
LangChain, this one LangGraph or LangChain?
No, I haven't worked on like real time, but yeah, currently I'm exploring on those things like the this LangChain, LangGraph, and even Crew AI. Even you can check the Crew AI as well. Even UiPath provides that capability as well. You can directly even invoke, like you can build it in the Crew AI framework, and you can just invoke it in your UiPath platform.
Okay. And right, we are creating the agents and consuming inside the studio and all that, right? So what about the if we think in terms of the tokenization, right? Or I mean, just I wanted to ask directly in terms of the cost wise, right? So how it is generating the ROI? Hello, hello. Am I audible?
Hello? Yes.
Yes.
Akash,
Hello.
if you're saying something, your voice is not clear.
Hello. Can you
Hello.
hear
Yes,
me?
Akash. We
Yeah.
got you
Okay.
back, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
shall I repeat my question or how it is?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one question. Okay. So we are creating these agents and all that, right? Okay. We are creating consumer inside the UiPath Studio, right? And
Correct.
we are working on the real time use case and all that, right? So
Correct.
like for the DU framework, if we say it consumes the AI unit, right? So lesser the
Correct.
AI units, right? Better the ROI. That is the simple theory behind it, right?
Correct.
In terms of this race agentic or the Gen AI, right? We are
Correct.
creating the agent, we are consuming, right? So at the end, how it is generating the ROI, right? How it is adding the value addition to the business.
So at the end, again, it's depend on your use case as well. Like how complex your use case is, and again, if you take an example for the document understanding as well. So if
Mm-hmm.
you need an accuracy, right? Like even in the document understanding, so definitely
Mm-hmm.
you need to give that the machine learning extractor and document understanding model, so which will impact like if you are getting the thousands of documents per day, right? For example, if we take an example for 5,000 documents I'm getting, for example invoices I'm getting, so that will obviously that will return that ROI, right? So based on that like requirement, or we can say the use cases, so we can like optimize that ROI.
Okay, but right, I heard like for this agentic or the Gen AI, right, licensing cost is very high.
I,
So
I
many
can
clients
I
are
can answer this, Akash. So see,
okay.
everything has cost, right? So if you go for the UiPath product, there is a cost associated. If you go for the agentic thing, you are using the model. There is a cost associated for the tokens as well, right? If you go to OpenAI or Anthropic page, that will show you, if you're consuming this particular model, how much cost it will take, right, for the input and output, right? So it is there is no straightforward answer, but it depends on your business use case, right? How complex it is, how SLA based it is, right? And what exactly you're looking for. You're looking for accurate answers or creative answers. Depending on, you will be choosing your models, and the token consumptions will be based on that only. So there is no such direct answer that this much is cost is fixed, but it varies depending on your use case. So you have to examine how much the impact of your use case, what is the particular investment now, and how much you will get it after the implementation. So on that basis, there are certain parameters. Based on that only, you need to calculate it.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah. So again, the one more question, right? So if right, this all thing cost and all ROI, right? In the real case, in the real story, are there many clients are acquiring this one, agentic and Gen AI?
If you ask me, I have seen mostly from the finance domain, okay, that they are really going for it. Apart from that, I haven't. This is my experience again, okay. Maybe someone has another experience; they have seen it into other domain as well. But I have
Mhm.
specifically seen into the finance domain. Akash, you may want to answer if there is something else that you know.
Yeah, even like I would say the same thing, like the your finance, most of the finance domain, they are actually going for it. So even as you said, like the costing again, it depends on the client as well, like client to client. So few clients like they are okay with the costing which UiPath provides, right? So like the ROI and those things will come up in the picture then. Yeah.
And I'll give you one example. When you are using models, right, you need to be very particular about security as well. What questions your user will ask, and what questions actually the LLM to process. The recent example, if you have seen, right, there was this McDonald's chatbot, and someone asked about reverse linked list, technical question, and that chatbot was giving the answers, right? So now I don't need to use any other thing, right? I don't need to pay for any other model. I can simply use McDonald's chatbot for getting answers for my questions. If it is answering anything other than the McDonald's thing as well, right? That chatbot is supposed to answer related to McDonald's thing only. So you have to be very particular. I'll keep on asking something to that McDonald's chatbot, and McDonald's have to pay for that consumption now. For my questions, it will
Mhm.
be tokenized. The response again, it will be tokenized. McDonald will be paying for that unnecessary. So you have to consider
Mhm.
that as well when you're talking about ROI and other things. So you need to safeguard your LLM calls as well. What LLM should process and what LLM as an output should give.
Okay, yeah. One more question to Siddesh. So, like for the traditional RPA, right, we used to have the ROI template and all that, right? Like in complexity basis, which we used to have the cost correction and all that. So, compared to that one in terms of agentic AI, right? Is there any is there any template created in the market to directly ROI calculation all that roughly that we can get some idea out of it?
I haven't seen that, but you can Google it out. You can check with
Mhm.
But it's a good thing. No, it should have, right. At least it can give some rough estimation around it. I agree.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's it from my side too. Yeah.
Akash, I have one query. Means this particular UiPath, this coded agent thing, which has means the UiPath has introduced recently. But means actually we have few more techniques to go around it, right? Like we can use directly the front end React app and call the like we can use the concept of MCP servers. So like then how this coded agents is actually helping, like means how UiPath is actually how UiPath is facilitating this like use of coded agents. Means what is the exact purpose of it?
So exactly, so what your question is? Like you are asking like how coded agents are using. That's your question.
Yeah, means actually, means why UiPath is hosting this particular coding agents, like the particular coding which we did in VS Code, right?
Correct.
Downloading the Ollama and
Correct.
giving it a user query and then expecting an answer from that
So that
LLM.
was just a simple demonstration to just show you
Haha.
how we can utilize the different LLMs, how we can connect the LLMs, how we can generate the response through these LLMs.
Yeah, but yeah, means actually, what exactly UiPath is facilitating through this because we can build the React apps and we can get the means we can the chat thing which happens actually the conversation that can be happened on directly on web page as well, right?
Chat thing can happen those things as well, but when it comes to building the complex workflows, right? So
Yeah,
then where you need an framework. So if you think in the UiPath as well, right? So even if
yeah,
in UiPath we have the normal process, so then why we are going in the RE framework template? Because it has the exceptional
ah,
handling when it has
yes,
the queue capability, right? So that
yeah,
is the reason. So they have introduced in the coded agent. Even in if you go in the outside of the UiPath as well, so everyone is like adapting this LangChain LangGraph. So that is the
yes, yes,
reason. So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, because there are certain limitations, you cannot even create some of the APIs or those things. But using this coded agent, you can do everything. Like even
Okay,
you
okay,
talk about
okay.
MCP server and those things. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually it means we are having these sessions after this session as well, right? So can we demonstrate one session wherein we are able to achieve this specifically through UiPath coded agents, and outside we will require some licensing or some cost would be involved to perform that particular task. So
No,
can we
outside
demonstrate first?
I don't think you need an license or those things, because there is you are just downloading those packages, and when you actually deploying in the orchestrator, right? There
Yeah.
means it means like it needed some agentic units. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Okay.
And Akash, can we also build a coded agent with the help of LLM without a framework?
We can do it. Like I guess Gagan will even like add that point as well. Like we have the coding agent where using the LLMs we have the skills where we can directly provide the prompt, and it can even create the coded agent as well.
So, what is the significance of using a framework?
So framework is there. Like if you provide the prompt, right? Like I want to create an coded agent with the help of like the LangChain. So it will take that UiPath skills, and it will create a LangChain framework for you for the coded agent.
Okay.
So even when you pass those all those commands, right? Even it will by default it will create a Python file for you. It will create an agent for you. So based on your requirement, you can just customize your agent logic. That's it, and then you can just publish in your orchestrator.
Okay.
All right, I guess that was a quite interactive session we had. And thanks, Akash, for all the knowledge. And thanks, everyone, for joining us and for sharing your thoughts as well. That will also help us for, take this feedback and talk to the UiPath team so that we'll get more accurate answer for these. And also, this is not the end. We have shared the WhatsApp community link as well on the group. You can definitely join us there. And soon in Pune, we are hosting the next one of the big event, which is UiPath Agent Builders Day, which is we call it as a community day in Pune, which is happening on 8th of the August in Pune itself. So we have all the details on the group, so you can have it there. Also, Darshan has shared all our LinkedIn profiles, so you can, if you have any certain type of question related to ROIs, related to customer, anything, you can reach out to us. And once again, thank you for joining this session. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining the session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Akash.
Thank you, Akash.